Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Wellness Wednesdays with your host Fadil Al-Khatib. Okay, so today we have Harrison as our special guest today. Last week we were talking about physical wellness, but this week, as I said, we'll be talking about emotional wellness. So, Harrison, what's emotional wellness to you, bro?
I think emotional wellness is being able to express yourself well, be aware of your feelings, and just have a positive outlook on life. That's how I feel.
Well, according to our dear friend UC Davis, emotional wellness inspires self-care, relaxation, stress reduction, and the development of inner strength. So, it's just taking care of yourself in a sense. So, how would you describe your current state of emotional wellness?
I think right now it's a bit, it's just average.
Average.
Because I feel in life sometimes you feel good, and then sometimes when it gets to the coming down part, right,
Mhm.
you feel a bit lost. So I feel like that's
I
how
see,
I'm
I see.
feeling right now. Like it's not like there's something to make me overly sad, but I also don't feel like
Overly
at my
happy
best self.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's where I'm at right now.
I mean, it's more of ups and downs lah, I
Okay.
guess. It's more of like heal. So, like, bring us through that, man. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you do when you feel sad?
I think
Or what do you think? Like, what are those sad thoughts, you know?
when I feel sad, I usually just feel like I lost a part of myself, something like that, and I can't really act the way I used to anymore in front of other people, and I feel like I lost just a sense of my own identity. Yeah, that's how I feel when I'm lost, sad.
But how do you feel when you're happy then? Like, what are the thoughts that go through your mind?
When happy is it's more of in flow state. It's like I don't overthink things. I just do. Yeah, I just the days pass very quickly, and I enjoy every moment of it rather than dreading the next day. The time passes more quickly. So that's how I feel like I'm happy. I don't really overthink things.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
Well, then, how do you usually cope with those, like, negative feelings, like, when it's a rainy day or what, like,
It's already okay.
yeah. How do you, like, really, like, tell yourself, yeah, it's okay, like, we'll get through this?
Okay, this is my own tactics, right? When it's a rainy day, I usually walk in the rain.
Oh, literally?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, literally,
I was using a metaphor, man.
Yeah, no, seriously,
Okay,
seriously,
right.
I would I feel the vibes of the day very sad, and my thinking very sad, so I'll just go for a walk in the rain,
In
and,
the rain?
in the rain, then
Wow.
some music, think about life.
Actually, yeah, I've been
Yeah,
through that before,
I
yeah.
feel like it's more therapeutic rather than trying to go against the vibes of the day, right? Trying to make myself feel more positive when I'm not feeling good, and the day very gloomy also. I just immerse myself in the day.
So what you're saying is that rather than try to fight against the feeling, you rather embrace it,
Yeah,
rather than just deny it.
yeah.
I see, I
That's
see.
why.
Wow, so other than, like, literally walking in the rain, say it's not a rainy day, like, say it's a very sunny day here,
It's a
lah.
good day today.
Yeah, how would you, like, if you really have those negative thoughts, what would you do?
Negative thoughts.
Mhm.
I think there was a point in time. I think during the circuit breaker period where you can't really go out much to do things also unnecessarily. So I would have this I think it's my own method to feel better about myself. I would not before I sleep or anything. I would record my thoughts. Voice record.
Voice record.
I would before I sleep. I would talk to myself for 1 hour. I just say whatever comes to mind, however I'm feeling, or just my journey as a person. Then after I record, I will listen it as to myself talking as I sleep. So it helps me to understand my thoughts better, and be more aware lah. Sometimes you don't know how you are feeling, so you just say whatever comes to mind. Then when you listen to it, you kind of understand yourself better, and
I see.
just validate your own feelings. So that helps me feel better about myself. So just from knowing how I feel. Yeah, that's what I do sometimes.
Actually, I did something similar as well, like, I used to, your phone has the notes app, right? I used to write down my thoughts as well,
same.
Sometimes I would write down songs, but I was told by my counselor last time when I used to go.
Yeah.
He told me to just write down anything that happened on that day, like say whether it be negative or actually no, he told me to write something positive, even if it meant like, oh, I woke up on a good note or something like that. So that kind of helped me lah, because I started trying to see like the better things in life. So like the sun was very shiny today. Sunny today. The sun was very sunny today. Or the weather was good. Like even very very small things like I managed to get out of bed today. So like those small things like can help me see that it matters as well. Not life is not all gloomy. And even before that also I used to write down my negative thoughts. Like whenever I really had a bad day or even like we can't swear on this podcast. But when I really had a bad day, I'll write down my thoughts, and then the next day or say if the next week I'm feeling better, I will look back at it, and I will see, oh, I got through this. I got through this. Like if I can get through this, I can get through more.
The next time,
there's nothing that can stop me.
Absolutely.
So even coping methods also sometimes it's really toxic as well. Like for me, I'm sorry again, Mr. Lionel, if you're watching this, but I used to smoke. So
I'm sorry also.
yeah, I'm very sorry, Mr.
also.
Lionel. We love you, but we had toxic coping methods but like I've learned to replace it. Like with I would say music I replace it with music. So like I picked up the ukulele when I back when I started to hit my low point. So I just said, screw it I'll just buy a ukulele. And I just learned. It distracted me from whatever I was thinking. Even if it was temporarily, it still helped.
You write your own songs.
I do have a couple songs. I actually have a lot of songs written.
So it's like you have to express your feelings through music, right?
Yeah, if when I feel happy, I'll just jot down something.
Some lyrics,
but during that period of time, like there's a lot of sad songs. Like a lot of sad songs, and especially during 2018. 2018 was really a bad year for me. But yeah, there was a lot of sad songs on my phone. Like
Chicken.
the chicken. Okay.
Chicken.
Oh no, I also. I said no, it's okay. Anything just edit.
Okay. Can.
But yeah, 2018 was really quite a bad year. So like, it really helped me cope with my thoughts. Having a place to release that negativity, that anger, that rage. And it wasn't like I was angry at anyone also, like you can easily put the blame on someone, but in the end, it's
Your own feelings.
my own feelings, my own overthinking that caused me to be like this. But it is what it is.
It is what it
It
is.
is what it is.
Yeah, man, I feel you guys, yes.
So yeah, another definition of emotional wellness is that includes the ability to learn and grow from experiences. So let's say what's one experience or incident that really taught you a lot and helped you grow as a person?
I think I got two specific moments.
Really?
Two moments.
Mhm.
The first one would be like in sec 3, I think 2016.
Mhm.
I was like feeling very down about myself because like sec 2, right, you like with the streaming year, after that you get to new classmates and everything, right?
Mhm.
So I felt like when I entered the new class and like I lost my passion for football, I lost like my results became very bad. I couldn't get along well with my friends also. So I felt very alone like for a long period of time. Then I just like outcasted myself in school. It's not like people didn't try to talk to me, but it's more of like I didn't want to interact with them. Because I don't feel like it's a genuine like connection. So during that point of time I was very like alone and so I spent a lot of time alone also. So that's when I like that period lasted for quite long until even when I come poly also. So like through that, like, ever since that period passed and I started like meeting new friends and like learning how to be myself around other people again and like create real connections lah. So that's when I started getting better. And I feel like I can't really blame others for not having a genuine conversation if I don't be my real self with them also. So it taught me how to be more open and honest in front of other people also. Then the second point of time, what's the question again?
So what
incident?
incident experience helped you grow, or you learn a lot from it?
I think the second experience would be like breakups right? You feel me, right? You feel me on that, right? So it's like through that, like, cause like if you spend too much time with one person, right, you get used to it, right? Then once that moment like and you won't like know how to, like, you know, life won't feel normal again. Like you can't,
like it's like
like you lost a part of
it's
yourself also, you know,
yeah,
right?
it just feels weird lah.
Yeah, so like through that, like, you know, ever since like losing somebody important to me, then I'll feel like I don't know how to, you know,
Cope with it.
cope with it, how to like get through the days, because like, you know, I was so used to the routine, right? And then I can't really talk to anyone else in that way anymore. So it really taught me how to depend on myself more and like be more self-reliant rather than relying on someone else for my happiness also.
Yeah, I think that's quite a main issue
That's
lah.
a
That's a big issue
It's a
nowadays.
big-
You know, like
right.
people tend to depend on others for their happiness when, you know, like you should try as much as you can. I'm not saying you can suicide, you know, become happy with yourself before, you know, like no one's gonna achieve that. So like as much as you can, be your own happiness, you know, as much as you can.
Yeah, I feel it.
It's okay to receive happiness from other people, but you shouldn't be too dependent on them. Or not, if they are really gone, you're gonna be messed up lah. You know, that's what I learned lah. Like, you know, breakups as well. Like that's what I learned from my previous breakup. Cause yeah, that's what happened to me, and that was really a low point lah. So I've learned a lot from the incident. You know, like I shouldn't be afraid to tell people how I feel. Cause I never really told anyone this, but on that day, I really had a big breakdown, and it was the first time that, you know, I broke down in front of my parents.
You
Or
told me that before.
yeah, or in
Right.
general, you know, in front of anyone lah.
Yeah, I
Because
remember this story.
even my best friend of 11 years. How long has it been? How long has it been since 2008? 12 years.
12 years.
See, for 12 years, he's never seen me cry before. So like, to break down just like that, it was a big shock to everyone lah. And that's when I realized, you know, how secluded I've been, how much I kept things to myself. And no, that was bad, because what I learned is that if you tend to bottle up things, that bottle is gonna explode already. So it's okay to depend on others for help, you know. It's just, I think the main problem, you know, with opening up is that, you know, sometimes I feel like, oh man, I'm gonna burden this person, you know, like this person has their own problems, or and I'm just like sharing my problems when he or she has his own things to solve. But I'm just very grateful that I have a loving, I have good energy around me lah. So like, everyone supports me, everyone is there when I need it, and like I say, I wasn't dependent on them, because I had to learn how to be by myself, because eventually you're gonna end up in the grave by yourself also, man. But
That's
you know, like, I've learned that it's not wrong to ask for support. That's one big incident lah, a breakup lah. I wouldn't say that's what happened. It was just the tipping point lah.
Like before that, there was many incidents that made you.
Yeah, it's like, you know, built up. You know, like overthinking. It's just built up, and then that one thing that just, you know,
too much, yeah.
you know, just explodes.
I feel you.
Yeah, and then yeah lah. That's why I tell people that don't bottle lah, because that bottle is gonna explode. But I think another incident which really, this happened at a very young age. Another incident that really helped me was when I was bullied in primary school.
Primary
you know,
school.
like throughout my whole primary school, I see Justina laughing at me. Oh, wow.
Happened.
Yeah, I was bullied in primary school because, you know, I'm fat. I was fat in primary school. Editor, later you can just insert a picture of me in primary school. I send you a picture, don't worry. But yeah, I was quite a fat kid. And you know, standard, I play football, and because I was a fat kid, I would be goalkeeper lah, standard lah, you know, because I could fit the whole goalpost, you know. But yeah lah, I was a goalkeeper, and like, okay, we used to play a basketball court, because, you know, I don't know why we never used to shoot soccer, but we used to play the basketball court, and like the basketball court had like, you know, the the hoops, like the hoops got the pole ma, and then it's just in between like two poles like this, so we shoot like this.
Okay.
So you play there, and over there I will constantly get bullied by the other kids lah. Even my best friend, I love you, Irfan. My best friend used to be my bully, my first ever bully in primary school, you know. And yeah, it got to the point where, you know, my counsellor got involved, and I still that I forgave him lah, and that's how we became best friends. But you know, through this like this bullying thing, right, it just taught me that, you know, not everyone is gonna like you. And but just because everyone doesn't like you doesn't mean you have to accommodate to their, you know, their perception, what they want you to be, just be yourself lah,
It's
like
true, man.
screw it, man. Like, what are they gonna gain? And what am I gonna gain,
Alright.
At max only what, the approval, a great feeling, but that's only temporarily. And it's also fake.
Agreed. Yes.
So like, that's something that, from young I held, just be genuine, be sincere. What for try to impress other people when they're not gonna give a damn lah. I almost swore there, holy. So, it's just because what I think is that people don't really care as much as you think. As such as it sounds like,
true though.
you may think like, why is he gonna think of me? Why is she gonna? But actually, in reality, like,
They care about
they don't
themselves
care less.
more. I
Yeah,
think they
like,
care about themselves more than
you can say that, but
sometimes.
they just really can't be bothered lah to be bothered about other people.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they
true.
have their own things to go through
Yeah.
also. Like, so that's one thing that I really helped from young. Just be yourself.
Yeah, man.
But as simple as it sounds, I think that's the hardest thing to do lah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I feel like if just the self acceptance,
Mhm.
those kind of thing. It's like you can live your whole life without really being true to yourself, right? And then it's actually so simple, right? Just to say how you're feeling, but actually that's like the hardest.
That's
thing.
the hardest.
That's the hardest thing.
It's always easier said than done,
Yeah.
And like this self-acceptance thing, like in 2018 also, like I said, it was a very bad year for me, and like you said just now, like it's not that people didn't want to talk to me,
Yeah.
it's like I just felt genuinely alone, even though I had so many people around
I
me,
feel you.
my poly
Yeah,
classmates, my takraw friends, my family, like
Yeah.
even though they were there and they said they would be there, and I know they would be there,
Yeah.
I just felt alone in
Alone,
general,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
because like I just didn't want to burden anyone and all that. But like that's when I realized that these people said they will be here for me. So like I have this good energy around me. So why am I bringing myself down?
Yeah. Why don't rely?
No, why-
Rely on them a bit, right? It's
Not
okay to
say
rely,
rely,
on them.
but like ask for support.
Yeah,
you know?
lah, right.
Like,
You can rely a
yeah,
bit on them.
like I got your back, you got my back.
Yeah.
So like that's when I realized, like at one point, like why am I bringing myself down so much? Like I know that I got good people around me. I got good friends, a loving family. So why am I doing this to myself? Like sometimes you don't really know why.
I know, right?
You just just like that. But slowly when that thought of positivity, you keep thinking that every day, it eventually becomes a mindset lah.
Yeah.
From one small thought to a mindset. So I guess that helps also lah. Yeah, like coping with the negative feeling, like it's just seeing that one positive thing in that day lah. Because eventually it'll get bigger and bigger. It'll become your mindset, and then that negative feelings won't really be there. Not say go away, but it won't appear as much.
Feel about it.
So yeah, like no, you have my coping methods. You have your own coping methods. I have my
yeah.
coping methods. Like, why do you think people react differently though? Like, you react to a different way. Like, say both of us just got broken up with.
Yeah.
How would you react? And how would I react? Why do you think it would be different?
I think you would cry.
I would cry,
You
yeah.
express yourself.
Yeah.
But I think the way I react when I can remember every time when something tough happens to me, like breakup or whatever, like I tend to keep it in first.
Mhm.
Like I would just act like nothing happened. Like that. But then I feel that it's a bit, it makes it harder for myself. Because as cliche as it sounds, but like expressing yourself really is like a release, right?
Mhm.
Crying or whatever. But I think for me is since young I have a problem like true I can talk
Mhm.
how I feel, but it never really is like the 100% truth. I always feel like I'm hiding something in that way.
Do you think it has something to do with like the way we grew up, the family we grew up with, like our surroundings?
I think that has a
Yeah.
part to play with.
Because
it.
growing up, like my dad was always overseas also.
Oh, my dad also.
Yeah,
my dad also.
Yeah, my dad was constantly overseas, and like I wasn't really close with my stepmom at the time, so like I didn't really have any like parental figures to look up to. I didn't really meet my mom as often as well. That's a long story.
Yeah.
So like I didn't really have that parental figures to look up to. So like I didn't really have anyone to tell. Like throughout my primary school, I couldn't tell anyone I was getting bullied or like so like I guess that really made me feel like I should keep things to myself. And I guess that environment is very important, especially when you're young, because it shapes how you will be when you grow up, and it's gonna be very tough to change that. So, like, Would you say this?
I think because like similar to you, my dad also, he's a cabin crew, so he's
Oh.
barely in town also. And then I think never tell anybody this before also, but I think when I was very young, I think 5, 6 years old, like play right? Like I used to like have play fights with my dad like that. So like sometimes it become like too serious, right? Yeah, then there was one time he actually like hit me quite hard. So I'm the type of people who like hold grudges. So I'm like when he hit me at the time, like he was being serious lah. Like I can tell it's not just play already. So I actually remember that moment. Then like I kept that thought for many years. Right. Then when I became older, I just like hit him one time, like, for no reason lah. So like ever since then, like have a like some beef, right, going on in my family. So like I feel the atmosphere is like even though my mom is very caring, but it's like she always have to act as the middleman between me and my dad. So it's like a very like not very functional sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
like,
I get what you mean. Yeah,
so
like,
I feel that.
I guess. Yeah, I mean.
It's like hard to open up sometimes
Hard
at
to
home.
open up,
So I just sometimes I'm an only child also lah. So like I go home, I just sometimes just as much as my mom cares for me, I just chill sometimes.
I guess he just has things he would do better. Like say not like talking like bad about our parents or whatever.
It's not.
Like saying that we know what we will do lah. I see. That's very interesting lah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah lah, I guess people tend to say that they won't remember this young, but actually it sticks with us for a long time. There are things also I remember from my
young also, right?
But I think if we talk about it will take up like the whole day
whole
for the
episode,
podcast.
that's right.
Yeah. So like, why do you think? What are other factors that you think that make people react differently? Like, do you think it just has to do with the person themselves?
I think the surroundings plays a part, and also like their interests or like what they do. Because if somebody doesn't really have a sense of themselves, when things happen, they wouldn't know how to react. Like for example, like I have my own passion sometimes, like football, even though it's not really there so much anymore. But I have other activities that I like to do, cycling, running. So I feel like when things happen, I have ways to cope with it and like react to. But some people, they don't really have interest
outlet,
so
they
feel very like suffocated at times. I think those are the few factors.
I think that's true. Like what you may call like something that may be insensitive to you may be very sensitive to someone. Like I think a lot of people fail to realize that like you should think before you speak. That's a very very like underrated phrase, I would say. Because what you say, it may not show on the person, but it's inside how they feel inside. If that makes sense, like they won't tell you straight up that they feel like that's it.
Yeah.
But inside they hold it in and I guess like I said, that fills up the bottle
That's true.
What do you think are things you can do to like really boost your emotional wellness, to like help you relax, self-care, all that?
I think the first way I would do is, because usually those people who when they feel low or they don't know how to cope with things is, I think mainly because they are very confused with their own emotions also, like I'm feeling bad but I don't know what's the cause of it. So I think the first way that helped me was actually like jotting down thoughts at certain periods of time so I understand how I feel better.
Alright.
And then what was the question again?
Like what are things you can do to boost your emotional?
I think just knowing how you feel at certain times, and then like looking back I always try to make it seem like you're on a journey like that. So you like give credit to yourself, like I've come this far, I don't want to waste all the progress I made in life those kind of things. So knowing how you feel, and I think also finding things that you enjoy, even though sometimes some people it's hard to find things to enjoy when you're feeling very bad but it's always good to find things that make you feel good. It could be as like little as just talking to someone, even though it's not really a passion, but it's like this thing makes me feel good. So
it's
like,
just an outlet again, an outlet to
just
release.
Finding things that is outlet to release, could be talking or activity. I think these two things, like validating your feelings and finding outlets to release, it really helps.
I see. I guess that's a good No, those are a few good methods. I mean,
Got any methods to recommend?
quite a lot lah, I guess. But
And give some
Think-
recommendations.
again, like I said, finding a passion lah, like you said, like music to me is a big thing in my life. Growing up with Filipino blood, like music is a really big influence. Has a really big influence on my life. Like I like to write down songs, even though sometimes it's not good. But no, I like to write down things. I like to anything lah. Can be about the day, can be about love of my life, can be about my friends. Just writing down and seeing that you actually created something. It actually sounds decent. It really helps you feel good, and like along the way you improve and improve. Like just makes you feel great lah. So like it's that stress reduction lah, and self care. Like do those little things that like eating clean or like taking care of your fingernails or your face. Like all that self care relaxation. It helps you boost yourself because eventually when you see like if you don't care for yourself, then how are you gonna care for others? Like that's one phrase lah that I stick by as well. Like, if I don't really care for myself, if I don't like think about myself, how am I gonna take care of someone else?
Yeah, man.
Like if I can't even do the basics for myself, so like you can't expect me to do the basics for someone else. It's just gonna be horrendous lah.
True.
So all that, I think that helps boost the emotional wellness lah. My
It's
opinion.
Good tips.
Yeah, man. So like, do you have anything else to add on?
Is there a final question or talking point?
That's our final question for today.
Okay, how long has it been?
I think it's long enough.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's
that wraps up our episode for today. And
37 minutes only.
can lah.
37 minutes only. Last week 30 only.
Okay lah, should be fine lah.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess that wraps up for our episode for today. Join us next week as we'll be talking about social wellness as well with our.
Spiritual or social?
We'll keep you up to date with that. So
I'll be the host next week.
yep, we'll keep you up to date with that. Don't worry. Yeah, he'll be the host next week. Harrison Jun Wei, correct? Jun Wei is our teacher. That's wrong.
Okay.
Cut that out. But yeah, thank you for watching our podcast. We hope to see you again. Tune in to our next episode.
Okay, see you. Bye bye.